By the way, everybody who bought a quilt, 40 people bought quilts at the Gita for poor kids in Kathmandu to go to school, and they sent you a photo. Okay, so I'm going to leave it up here, but it's very cute, and I'd like to congratulate Hector and Missy and other people. Yeah, thank you. So come see afterwards. Rejoicing is a very important thing in something you did right, right? My Lama saw the quilt and started crying and thought it was a beautiful thing. So, anyway, here we go. I'm going to read to you Kitsan Lama Jamyang Munlam's, born 1689. Okay? We're going to go through his. I think it's one of the most important teachings you'll ever get. So try to screw on your thinking cap. Okay? And try to pay attention. I know it's not easy, which involves not talking. Okay. Here we go. It's called Unweaving the Web for Possibilities. He starts out by saying there are... So, how do you see things when you reach Nirvana? Okay, that's the big question. And I never got it clear in my mind. I was always confused. And he decided it was important to talk about it also. Okay, here we go. There are 4 ways to see a water pitcher. Why do they always talk about water pitchers in philosophy? Because every room had one, because there was no plumbing. And the disciples had to go get buckets of water, and we had to do that. So every room has a water pitcher. Kailash, right? So anyway, there are 4 ways you can see a water pitcher. Number 1, you can see a water pitcher as being a water pitcher. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, you can see a water pitcher as coming from its own side. I'm sorry. Sorry, I blew it already. Number 1 is a water pitcher can appear to be a water pitcher, and you can take it as a water pitcher. Okay? It can appear to be a water pitcher, and you can take it as a water pitcher. You got to get this feeling, okay? It's appearing to you as a water pitcher, and you take it as a water pitcher, okay? That's possibility number 1. Number 2, a water pitcher can appear to be coming from its own side, and you can take it as coming from its own side. That's another possibility, okay? What does it mean coming from its own side? What's keeping the water pitcher up? Why does the water pitcher hold water? No, well, there's some kind of quality in clay. I mean, a Sankhya would say there's a combination of earth element and the other tattvas, you know. There's something in clay that allows it to hold water. You don't make water pitchers from jello, for example, because they don't hold water. There's some quality in clay that when you fire it, it will hold water and it won't leak. Okay? True? We say no. We say no. Okay? There's nothing in clay that makes a water pitcher hold water. Okay? If a water pitcher holds water, it's because you offered water to someone else in the past. Okay? We did a talk at Princeton, a couple days ago. We tried to get the physics department there. What's his name? Hawkins' publisher came. That was enough. 250 people came, but no, I didn't have enough physicists. But anyway, we were talking about these issues, you know. And science's view is incomplete, okay? There's nothing in clay that can cause a pot to hold water, okay? You have to get used to that idea. It appears that way. It seems that way. And that's part of avidya, and that's why we suffer. Okay? Even things like water pots. Glass, call it your glass bottle or your plastic bottle. There's nothing in plastic that can hold water. You got to get used to that. Until you get used to that, you will have anger. you will have procrastination, you will have judging other, you will have these kleshas, okay? It's relevant, okay? Number two says, the water bottle, the plastic of the water bottle appears to have the ability to hold water, and you can take it that way. You can think that that's true, and science does, okay? You can think that that's true, and science does too, okay? That's step number 2. Step number 3, you can figure out, it can suddenly appear to you that the plastic in the water bottle doesn't have in itself the capacity to hold the water, and you can take it that way, okay? Opposite of number 2, all right? It can appear to you someday that the plastic in the water bottle does not itself have the capacity to hold water, and you can take it that way. Got it? Okay? By the way, that one is the opposite of number 2, and it's emptiness. It's emptiness. It's the absence of the capacity to hold water in the plastic. Okay? In the plastic, number 3 says, in the plastic, there's no capacity to hold water. You could walk on water if you perceived it correctly. You could change water into wine. I heard a joke on NPR. They said, Jesus walked into a bar and said, give me a martini glass full of water. No, give me a wine glass full of water. Anyway, you could change that's where the cities come from. It comes from the understanding that the plastic is not, the capacity to hold the water is not in the plastic. It's coming from you also. Okay? That's interesting. Then you can have cities. That's emptiness, right? The absence of number 2 is number 3. Got it? Don't sneeze. This is important time. Demons always make people sneeze at that time. Okay. Number 4. One day it may appear to you that the fact that the plastic is able to hold the water is actually a small luminous image popping out of a karmic seed in your own mind. One day it will appear to you that what you see is a tiny luminous image cracking out of a vasana opening up in your own mind. Okay? And you will take it to be that way. Got it? It will appear finally that your screaming husband is a luminous image spurting out of a tiny karmic seed in your own mind. You will catch it. One day, when you get good at your meditation, you will catch it, and it's awesome. It's incredibly awesome, you know? You catch in the mind the karmic seed cracking open, and you see your husband. You see when your husband is yelling at you, it's a tiny little luminous image that just came out of a karmic seed in your own mind, and it's not even out there. Okay? That's awesome. So one day you will see the bottle that way, and you will take it that way. Got it? We're talking about how it appears and how you take it. 4 possibilities. It appears as a water bottle and you take it as a water bottle. It appears as a bottle which can hold water and you take it as a bottle which can hold water. Is that wrong? No, it's holding water. If you don't believe me, come up, I'll pour it on your head. Okay? It is holding water. It appears to be holding water and it is holding water. No problem. Number 2, it appears to be holding water because there's something in the plastic. And I take that to be true. Is that correct? No. Number 3, I grasp that the plastic's ability to hold the water is not in the plastic. And it doesn't seem that way anymore, and I don't take it that way anymore. Is that true? That's a high state of realization. Then number 4, whatever capacity it has to hold water is coming out of a tiny karmic seed in my own mind. Is that true? That's true. Number 3, if you know Buddhist terminology, is emptiness. Number 4 is what? Positive. dependent origination, okay? It's how stuff happens, rather than how stuff is not happening. Got it? It's subtle. He didn't mention it. You have to figure it out. Number 3 is how stuff is not happening. Number 4 is how stuff is happening, okay? That's important. Now comes the interesting part. Dang. Which of the 4 do we have at any given stage in our spiritual career? Okay? Which of those 4 do we have in our mind at any given stage in our spiritual career? It's very beautiful. Those of you who have more training, you should live with this thing. You should carry this around and read it on buses and stuff until it's all tattered and worn out. It's extraordinary. It's extremely important, okay? You can judge where you are from this. You can judge how close you are from this, okay? Here we go. Until a person perceives emptiness, they can have the first 2 modes of perception in their mind, but not the second 2. Let's go over it. Until the day you see emptiness. Did he say directly? He didn't say, but he means. Okay? Just for your information. Mostly. Until you see emptiness, you can have the first 2 modes of perception, but not the second 2. What's the first one? It seems to be a water bottle. It appears to be a water bottle, and I take it to be a water bottle. That's okay. We all have that. The plastic appears to have the ability to hold the water in itself, independent of me. And I take it to be that way. Is that correct? No. But until the day you see emptiness directly, you believe that. And so scientists struggle to make bottles and find new chains of molecules which will make the bottle hold water more. And then people die in the desert because the water bottle broke. And that proves that science is mistaken, because it doesn't take into account human interaction with the things they invent, which is where they derive their power from. Plastic holds water for now. Penicillin worked for a while because of people, because of their goodness, and not because of any chemicals. It's profound. It has profound implications for medicine and architecture, you know. It's really profound. I had 2 physicists who were freaking out. Last time I went to Princeton, you know, and they're all excited, you know. Why does a water bottle break and people die for lack of that water? It's not in the plastic. The plastic isn't changed. Okay? The power of the plastic is not in the plastic. It's very interesting. Okay? And until you understand that, you will have kleshas. Okay? Now, until you see emptiness directly, can you have the second 2 perceptions? Can it appear that the power to hold the water is not in the plastic, and you take it to be not in the plastic? Not until you see emptiness. Can it appear to you that thing is popping out of a karmic seed in your mind, and you take it as something which is popping out of a karmic seed in your mind? Not until you see emptiness. That's very interesting, okay? Actually, just before you see emptiness, you can see that. In the few hours before, but that doesn't count, I guess. All right? So until the day you see emptiness, you are confined to the first 2 modes of perception, and one of them is grossly mistaken, deadly mistaken. It can kill you. It will kill you. Okay? Unless you figure it out. Okay? That's entire. Now, here's the interesting part where I struggle. Between the time I see emptiness directly and the time I achieve nirvana, how does it appear and how do I take it? Got it? This is why I brought this up. This is important. Okay? Here we go. A person who has perceived emptiness but who has not yet reached enemy destroyer, arhat, right? or the 8th Bodhisattva level, which is Arhat on a Mahayana track, okay? Those of you who know that stuff, it's Arhat, it's Nirvana on a Mahayana track, occurs at the 8th Bodhisattva level, okay? So he's just talking about the same thing. From the time you see emptiness, up to the time you see Nirvana, but you're not a Buddha yet, right? Up to the time you reach Nirvana, that person can have all four. What are the four? Can the bottle appear as a bottle to them and they take it as a bottle? After they see emptiness. Yeah, no problem. Everybody can. Buddha can. Okay? It is a bottle. And there's no problem there. Can a person who perceived emptiness already see the bottle? Can it appear to them that the power to hold the water is in the plastic and they take it to be true? They can. Not intellectually, but in experience they can. That's very important, okay? After you see emptiness directly, and someone comes up to you and says, does the plastic in the bottle have the power in itself, independent of you, to hold water? You will say, no. Does it appear to you that way? Yes. Do you sometimes take it that way when you're not being conscious and aware? Yes. That's why people who sought emptiness but haven't reached Nirvana yet still have 83,997 kleshas. No kidding. That's the difference. You only remove 3 kleshas at the time you see emptiness directly. When they're being mindful, they understand that the yelling husband is coming from them clearly. But when they're not being mindful, it fakes them out. Okay? That faking out is the only meaning of illusion in Indian spiritual literature. Okay? Get used to that, Maya. We're not talking about that tonight, but that's the only meaning of Maya. That condition of being faked out by your husband when he yelled loud enough, and your memory of having seen emptiness directly slipped, and you still get angry because you're not at Nirvana yet. Got it? You saw emptiness directly, but you can still get angry at your husband when you forget where he's coming from. What you saw. You forget what you saw. Got it? Okay, so a person who's seen emptiness directly but hasn't reached Nirvana yet can still slip. And they can have all 4 states of mind. Sometimes it looks like it doesn't have its own power, and they see it that way, and that's fine. Sometimes they see the power in the bottle to hold water coming from karmic seed in their mind, and it appears that way. So they have all 4 possibilities. Got it? Just nod your head, you can go home. Okay, here we go. I often tell people that. From enemy destroyer on. This gets sexy. This is interesting for me. This is the answer to my question that I always had. From enemy destroyer on up to Buddhahood, how many of the 4 can you still have? Okay. Things can appear to be coming from their own side, but we don't take them that way. Therefore, these beings no longer have number 2, but they have all the rest. I think more correctly you'd have to say they have half of number 2, but not all of number 2. Okay? So a person who has reached Nirvana, the world is still trying to trick them. Things still appear as if they had some power in them, but they never slip. So the difference between Nirvana and not reaching Nirvana, and apparently the thing that can stop every negative emotion in the human heart, is to stop misunderstanding where things are coming from, even though they still seem that way. Got it? Very powerful. You can destroy anger forever, jealousy forever, addiction forever, and still the world can be seeming to be what it's not to you. Okay? You can, but you don't buy it. You never buy it. Okay? And an Arya, a person who's seen emptiness directly, sometimes they buy it and sometimes they don't buy it. Got it? All 4. But an Arhat never has number 2. You gotta chew on that. Okay? Things still seem tricky, but they never fall for it. Therefore, They never have a negative emotion. No one can upset an arhat. Impossible. The husband can scream all night and they're like, okay, so you're coming from me. They're like this, right? We talked about the other day, that the reaction of a spiritual person to someone screaming at you is, they're trying to engage you visually, right? Like, look in my face, I'm screaming at you, and you're like, what'd I do last week? Why is he here? Like your attention is on your own behavior. What did I do last week to cause this guy? I mean, how can I stop him? You don't try to yell back or not yell back. You just think, what did I do last week that created him? And then you stop doing it next week, right? Okay. Guess what happens at enlightenment? No, as far as appearance and taking it. It doesn't even appear anymore to be coming from its own side. It doesn't look tricky to you anymore. It's just a no-brainer. The husband never appears as if he were coming from himself. So obviously you don't take him that way. So for an enlightened person, for a Buddha, it can't even appear the wrong way anymore. Got it? Now those of you who've studied deceptive reality and ultimate reality, you can appreciate it more. Deceptive means that, okay? Now, he doesn't stop there and God bless him. Okay? He doesn't stop there and God bless him. He answers one of the most beautiful questions of Buddhism. Okay? You ready? Here, you don't read it, look at me. Get a lineage. You can get the paper later. So can we say that a Buddha never sees how things could fool people? He says no. Can they never see things as they are seen by someone who is fooled? Huh? Why not? Why? Yeah, how would they teach us? How would they know our problems? You see, they perceive how you perceive stuff the wrong way. Okay? So we can't legally say in the Torah, what do you call it? The legalistic thing. Talmud. You cannot legally say that a Buddha is unaware of how things appear in a tricky way. They're aware, but that's not how they never appear that way to them. They see how you see things as tricky. That answers huge amounts of questions about enlightenment. How do they serve a suffering being if they don't have the karma to see suffering? They see you suffer. They see how you see the world, even as they see you as a high-level bodhisattva or as a divine being. Got it? That answers so many deep questions. That answers so much. How can they see everybody as divine and still serve them as suffering beings? They see at the same time, they see you as divine, and at the same time, they see that you don't see yourself that way. Got it? Oh man. No, anyway. We had to discipline a high lama recently. And we all had to chew on this. I handed it out. It's like, can you see someone do something naughty and discipline them at the same time as you see them as a lama? Okay. And the answer is, yeah. If you see somebody mugging a lady, you have to stop them. He may be a tantric deity, but you still have to stop him, right? It's not contradiction. Both are true. Okay? Got it? It's very subtle, but it answers a lot of life's problems. Okay? You still have to act in the world. You still have to do what's right, even if the world is all divine beings. Okay? You still can't stand by while someone hurts another person. Okay? All right. Whew. All right, now you get 10 minutes of, I'm going to tell you in 10 minutes how to remove the klesha that you know, it's very beautiful, okay? And it's from my heart, and I pray that you try, okay? It's from my heart. I will know next time I come if you did it or you didn't do it, because all I have to do is look at your face. You know, I can tell who's happy and I can tell who's not happy. You can tell me anything about your mantra practice and how many mantras you did and how many layerings you did. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. You know, if you don't look happy, you're not practicing. And I don't care how many mantras you're doing. And I don't care what initiations you got, because they're not working. Okay? If I see that you are noticeably happier, and I do, you know, I go to many cities, and then I come back in 6 months or a year, and I see 10 people who are gleaming and shining and happy, and I say, they're practicing, they got it. And then other people are telling me, oh, I got all these initiations, and yeah, and I'm like, yeah, but you're obviously irritating to everybody, you know. So anyway, here's how we're going to stop our main klesha, okay? And I'm sorry to tell you I taught you during the Gita already. It's a karmic path, right? Leki Lam. You must use the 4 steps, okay? You must use the 4 steps. I wrote them out for you again. You have them on a separate reading, okay? That was also at Starbucks. We took it from the teacher training that we did last week. We stole it and modified it for Nirvana. Okay? 4 steps. Very quick. You do them. I will get rid of my jealousy. You will get rid of whatever it was. And I don't need to tell you more than that. I'm not just trying to skimp you because we ran out of time. It only takes 10 minutes. Whether you do it is your problem. And I can tell next time I come. Okay? Those who removed their number 1 klesha become twice as happy as they were before. That's all there is. The rest is just dessert. Okay? Here we go. Number 1, make a statement. What klesha do you want to remove? And state its opposite, right? I would like to stop my jealousy, and I would like to enjoy other people's successes more. Okay? I'll let you make a sentence with an and in it, which is normally illegal in this exercise. Okay? But it's the same thing. I would like to stop my jealousy, and I would like to appreciate what other people are doing. I would like to enjoy what other people are doing. I would like to stop, I'll give you all 6, right? Let's do them fast. I'd like to stop my anger and become a person who cannot get upset. I would like to stop my addictions and start enjoying the opposite. You know, like if it's coffee, I would like to become a person who appreciates a nice bottle of water, which is a skill, which is a yogic skill. Okay? I would like to be a person who doesn't need to eat a bunch of junk food, but who gets high on a few carrots and thinks that's a wonderful thing. Like has great pleasure from a few carrots. Okay? That's addiction. Okay? What's the next one? I would like to be a person who no longer judges other people, but who rather approaches everyone with the assumption that they are divine. And then works out whatever they do from that. Okay? Got it? That's the opposite. All right? There must be a reason why they're, you know, taking the last ice cream before me, or, you know, probably they want to protect me. I mean, a tantrika is always interpreting things as some kind of divine intervention in their life. That's part of what tantra is. Okay? Number 5, right? Instead of being a person who self-imposed busyness, I want to be a person who can be contented when the time is right. I'd like to be the kind of person who can sit on the porch and watch the sun set for the whole time it takes for the sun to set and enjoy it without getting hyper and thinking I have to go send an email. Okay? Very few people have that capacity. You know, there's beauty everywhere. We don't have the capacity to sit and watch it. Okay? I would like to be that and not self-imposed over busy. Okay? Number 6, I would like to be a person who no longer procrastinates, but who rather, you know, joyfully chomps off the highest priority thing that they're supposed to do first. You know? Procrastination has to do with being unwilling to do the thing which is most important first. That's all. I'd like to be a person who goes after the difficult situations. You know, in my position, for example, I have people who have great needs, who are having personal crises in their life. I would rather translate a text. It's more interesting to me, and it's more fun. You know, I'm like, God, look at this, you know? And then somebody's like, Geshe, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm like, just wait a while. But who's more priority? What's the higher priority? I mean, it's the human being is always more important than a text. And then I would like, so number 6, I would like to be a person who does the most important things first. I would like to change how I prioritize things. Okay, got it? That's step number 1. State what you want. Step number 2, you must realize that you cannot plant this seed by yourself. To plant the seeds to destroy your own worst negative emotion, you need another person. It's not possible by yourself. Lama likes it. Lama likes it. Okay. It's not possible to plant the seed to destroy your negative emotion by yourself. You must have another person. You must find another person who has the same problem or a similar problem, okay? You cannot do it by yourself, not possible, okay? That's just the way it is. Number 2 means plan who you're going to help, okay? Choose who you're going to help. That's number 2. Make a plan. I have to find someone who has jealousy. I did it this today in Starbucks. I was like, dang, I never thought of that. You know, I have to find someone else who's jealous and help them get over it. And then I'll plant the seeds for me to get over it. That's the only way. In this system, that's the only way. So your job is to find someone else who has the same one. Roughly. There's a little leeway, you know, okay? You can be furious, they can be angry. It's okay. All right? Find someone who has jealousy, who's afflicted. Lady Ruth said, harassed. I love that. She said the word harassed. I'm going to remember that. Klesha, the definition is harassing. The word is harassing, right? So I must find someone else who's harassed by that emotion. Okay? Then make a plan. Still number 2, okay? Still in number 2. I will take them out to Starbucks. I always say Starbucks, okay? I will take them out to Starbucks and I will support them. You cannot solve their problems, okay? It's not going to happen. Ultimately, they have to take someone else out to Starbucks. I'm buying stock in Starbucks, okay? But you can support them. You can give suggestions. You can say, I'm in this with you. I understand you have a problem with jealousy. By the way, don't go up to somebody that you don't know very well and say, I understand you're a schmuck, you know, and I'm going to help you out, you know. It's not going to work very well. But someone you're close to, you can say, look, you have the same thing I do. I have the same problem as you, okay? Let's help each other. A good way to say it is, let's help each other, not that I'm going to help you. Let's have a jealousy support group. You know, I'm not kidding. Geshe Michael's jealousy support group. We're meeting tomorrow on the beach. So anyway, that's number 2. Understand that the actual helping the other person, which is step number 3, okay, actually taking them to Starbucks doesn't make as much karmic seeds as the planning does. Okay? Fantasizing, which is my word for meditation, on the bus about what you're going to say and how you're going to help them accumulates more karmic seeds than the time at Starbucks. Okay? And people don't get that. They don't know that. People come up to me all the time and say, I'm a generous person. I didn't make $250 million. Then I'm like, you didn't do number 2. You did number 3. You didn't do number 2. And you especially didn't do number 4. Okay? Number 3 is you actually take them to Starbucks. Okay? That's okay. And you support. You just give them support. Does it have to be every day? No. Once a week, once every 2 weeks. Why? Small seeds make big trees, that's all. You don't have to go crazy. Don't do more than you can do, or you'll get grumpy and you'll get worse. Okay? Do a modest, tiny, little service sincerely to someone else to help them with their jealousy when you can. And that's enough. That plants a seed. And the seed will grow. Okay? An hour at Starbucks creates a lifetime without jealousy. Okay? I got it? And that's the way seeds are. An acorn weighs 0.5 gram. A mature oak tree weighs 350 tons. And karma is the same. Just help them in the capacity that you have right now. Help them once a week, once every 2 weeks. You know, don't go crazy because you'll quit and you'll get grumpy about it. Okay. Number 4. This is the most important one. And we're almost going to end on time, so don't stress. After you come back from Starbucks and you finish your day at work, come home, cook your meal, clean up, do your emails and TV, whatever you got to do, which I don't support, and then take your bath, change into your night clothes, lay back on your bed like that. Okay? When you were daydreaming about your boyfriend in high school, you didn't, you know, there wasn't the 8-point posture, you know? It was like this, right? I'm a big proponent of staring at the ceiling. You know? Lay back on your pillows on your bed and just, you know, relax. And I saw Guruji only in action only a few times, but he had this thing, relax, relax. Just relax. And look at the ceiling, you know? Like lay back on a bunch of pillows and look at the ceiling and say, I planned to take the person to Starbucks. I chose the person at step number 2. Then it's going to be a weird week. Anyway, and then in step 3, I actually took them to Starbucks, even though it's not fun to take a person to Starbucks. Okay? It's not fun. Okay? You're not taking out your friend. You're taking out the most irritating person in your office. Okay? Get it. I mean, spiritual work is done with people who are not fun. And it's good. And that's the right thing to do. Okay? So then, okay, I took out this irritating person. They're jealous of everybody, not like me. I'm just jealous of some people. And, you know, and I gave them to some suggestions. I told them if they would just talk to that person they're always jealous of, if they would sit together at Starbucks for an hour next to each other and just smile and help each other, their life would be so much more pleasant, you know. And they understood and they smiled, especially when I paid for the coffee. And it went well, and I'm proud of myself. Okay, I spent a couple hours with someone that I'm not very fond of and who's not very lovable, but I served them and I helped them with their jealousy thing. And I dedicate that to my own jealousy. I dedicate those karmic seeds to curing my own jealousy, okay? And then you will fall asleep. And that's the best way to make a karma grow. Your mind is very vulnerable during the period of sleep, right? All night long, your mind will work on those seeds, okay? It will, like number crunching, it will seed crunch all night. Okay, no, it's a very beautiful process, okay? Most of us review the bad parts of our day just before we go to bed. And then we sleep on that. And it multiplies. And we dream about it. And we wake up grumpy, right? So in this system, step 4 is extremely important. As you lose consciousness on the bed, you are thinking about something good you did for somebody else, okay? And it will change your life, okay? You forget those high tantric things, okay? I just gave you something better, all right? Go to bed. As you fall off to sleep, think about the kindnesses you have done for others, okay? And then your mind crunches that all night. And you wake up happy, you wake up well rested. It's easier to fight kleshas when you're well rested, okay? So that's the 4 steps. Last thing, last homework question and last thing for Nirvana. And by the way, we're thinking, I mean, we looked at our schedule today. We want to try to get back to New York. We want to do some things. We want to do some more of this kind of stuff. Maybe we continue with Nirvana. We would like to do, I spoke to, I'm not a big friend of Dharmetra's. I mean, what do you call? I adore him? No, I idolize him. But I always was afraid to talk to him. So today we had our longest conversation. It was in the elevator. You know, I'm like, could I come and do a 2-day program and give you all the money? And he's like, yep. And no, because they need support. They're starting a new center. It's expensive. He's teaching by himself, I think, all the classes. And it breaks my heart. You know, I see him tired and I go for classes. I love his classes. And so I want to do some kind of program. We've been talking about it for a while, actually. So we'll do some kind of program there for a couple of days. We'll do a 3 jewels program. We'll continue with the chud text, right? High secret stuff. And then we'll do a DCI program in New York. We'll start the 12 levels of business programs in New York. So that'll all be, I think, starting in January. Why did I bring that up? Huh? I don't remember. Anyway. Yeah, but why did I talk about that? Oh yeah, the last step. He's right. He's right. Let me see how that relates. I don't even know how that relates. Anyway, the last step. Look, let's be very honest here. I give these talks all over the world. Thousands of people come. 1,200 people are signed up for Moscow next week. Pre-registered. I'm going to tell them, for example, that if they want to get a good partner, they should go to a nursing home, find a lonely person and serve them, right? And out of those 1,200 people, one person will... У меня есть вопрос, спросение, да? I have a question for you. Then I'll say, what? And they'll say, what kind of kindness is this? It's not kindness, it's a business deal. You know? I'll take care of your loneliness if I can get a partner out of it. I'll go to the nursing home and visit a lonely person if I can get a partner out of it, you know? I'll give you some money if I can get more back. You see what I mean? I'll help you with your jealousy problem if it will take care of mine. And as soon as mine's taken care of, you know, frankly, you can pay for your own coffee. You know? No, I mean, somebody will ask this question, okay? And it's true. It's a good question. It comes in the beginning of the Madhyamika Avatara. The question comes, if a person performs dana for selfish reasons, does it work? And the answer is, it does. It's a law of the universe. If you give, you shall receive. Okay? But little, and lousy, and inconsistent. Okay? There's another problem, and I want you to know. Okay? Step 3. You go to the nursing home to visit an elderly lady because you want to find a partner. You want to create a partner, karmically. And by the way, it works, okay? I got my own lady. I got an old lady for 20 years. And I'm very regular because I want my relationships to keep going, you know? I want the people I perceive as a holy being, I want it to keep going. I want that to, that's my fuel for that relationship. And 20 years, I haven't stopped, okay? Anyway, when you go visit the lady in the nursing home, you will create a partner. Even if all you want is a partner and you don't care about her, you will get a partner, okay? But that's selfish. So you're also planting a second seed with your motivation. The partner you get is going to be a selfish son of a gun. I'm not kidding. So be careful, okay? If the intention is a business deal, I'll take care of you if I can get a partner. You will get a partner, and he will use you. Okay? He will use you in the same way you used the elderly lady. Okay? Got it? So you got to be super careful. How do you get around that? How do you want me to take care of that? There's a very simple thing. It's called bodhicitta. Okay? And it's very, very, very beautiful. So Buddhists are always talking about bodhicitta. His Holiness translator, who I love, we used to fight each other in the debate ground. He will say something like universal altruism or something like that. And I like wince. I'm like, dang, who's going to get universal altruism? You know, what does it mean, universal altruism? When was the last time you saw altruism used in English? But anyway, what is bodhicitta? Is it like you have to sit down and have a grand love for the universe or something like that? Bodhicitta is, how do you define it? Semkepani, Shenenchir, Yanazo Bichanjutu. You have a vision for the world, okay? Bodhicitta means you have a vision for the world. What's the vision in this case? I see lines of young ladies outside of nursing homes. I see tickets with numbers on them, you know, and they have to take a number because Mrs. Hancock's busy this week. And we can maybe fit you in next Friday. Here's your number, here's your appointment time. She's busy until then. Thousands of young, hopeful ladies and young men who want a partner are mobbing the nursing homes. I want to see a future in this world where every elderly person has 2 or 3 younger people who are in love with them and want to visit them every day. Okay, like that. Okay, I want to see that in the future. That's the vision, right? Then as you are at the nursing home helping the old lady, you must think the following train of thought, and it will be bodhicitta. And it's natural, okay? If I get a fantastic partner after 5 years with no partner at all, right? And I bring him to the restaurant to show him off to my girlfriends, okay? Like, you know, you don't even mention that you have a partner and you make a dinner date, and then suddenly you got this hunky guy, and you all sit down, and they're all like, you know, and they're like, is he with her? Like, is it her cousin or is it her brother? Or, and then slowly over the course of the dinner, he's like hugging you and giving you little pecks on the cheek, and they're like, oh my God, that's her boyfriend. You know, then they're gonna be like, dang, how did she do that? It's been 5 years. Even the ones she had before 5 years ago were all losers, you know? And then she got this guy, and he's so intelligent and sensitive, and then he will go to the bathroom, okay? Hopefully it's a number 2, okay? Because we need time to talk. So he will leave for the bathroom. He'll say, I have to go to the bathroom. And then the girls are all like, and as soon as he's out of earshot, you know, it's all, what are they going to say? You know, where's the club? Or what kind of lipstick? What was it, Estee Lauder, or was it, I don't know any other ones. Sephora sells all of them. Come on. Chanel, okay? No, they will ask you, was it H&M? Was it Chanel? You know, was it a club? Was it a yoga? Where's the yoga school where boys like that are doing yoga? You know what I mean? And then you're gonna say, it's the nursing home. And then they're gonna say, what? You know, what do you mean? You know, this is where you hope it's a number two, because then you have time to talk about it. And you'll say, I went to this talk. The guy said you had to plant karmic seeds. He suggested going to a nursing home. If you don't want to be lonely, you have to make another person not lonely. And that plants a karmic seed. And any one of you can create your own man this way. Okay? 2 of them will try. They will get a boyfriend. Then the other 3 will try. Because the 2 got one. Got it? What's happening? It's a revolution. No, it's a ground zero starts with you. Spiritual teaching is, in the end, it's only example. It doesn't matter what you say at all. People will do exactly what you do. Good or bad, they will copy you, unfortunately. Okay? Everything you do, the good thing and the bad thing, your students will copy you. No matter what you say, don't do what I'm doing in the next 5 minutes. They'll do it within a week. Okay? It's the only way to teach spiritual things is by example. Okay? You have to be what you're talking about. Okay? If you get a beautiful, incredible partner by following some spiritual means, other people will copy you. Because they're not dumb. They want one too. Okay? I want what she's having. You know what I mean? Sally and, what's it called? I love that. I'll have what she's having, you know. And think that during the visit to the nursing home, and it's bodhicitta, and it's not selfish anymore. Okay? Have that intention in your mind. And it's not artificial. It's not forced. It's the truth. If this works for me, it's going to work for all my friends. And then their friends will copy them. We will be living examples of this new idea of how to get your dreams. And that will spread. And it started with me. I will be the first person. I will prove that it works. Got it? Then it's not selfish anymore. Then it's bodhicitta. It's the absolute opposite of selfish. Got it? That's universal compassion. Forget all this sachi, poki, joshi, michara, forget it. That's a bodhicitta, right? That's bodhicitta, but it's not. It's not this, right? This is real bodhicitta. And you don't have to meditate for 6 years in the desert to get it. Just trying to fulfill your own dreams in a karmic way and thinking you might set an example for others is it's real bodhicitta. And there's no other bodhicitta, okay? And it's for real and you can do it. And it's not some kind of thing that only the Dalai Lama has or something like that. Don't think like that, okay? Got it? Then it's not selfish anymore. Then the man is going to be like, he's going to want to save the world with you. Which is, by the way, just to let you know, and then we'll stop. That's the way it all ends, okay? That's where this all leads to. Okay? You have a spiritual partner. You both get enlightened together, as did Lord Buddha with Tilottama, Lady Tilottama, on the day of his enlightenment. It only came because of his partnership. And then they stepped above the world and took care of the world. They took care of the whole world. That became their gig. Okay? And it's always like that. It always ends like that. Okay? What I'm talking about always ends that way. Okay? You always end up taking care of a whole planet or two. Actually 1 billion planets, but you won't believe that. Okay? That's all I have to say about Nirvana here. Okay? Very holy talk and true talk. Just try. Okay? Get rid of use those 4 steps. Okay? Just try. Alright? You have extra pressure because you are trying to set an example for other people. If you succeed in being happy, people will copy you. The hardest thing to do in the world is to make yourself happy. And you can't teach other people how to be happy if you're not happy. If you're obviously not together, it's pretty weird to be teaching other people how to get their act together, okay? If you're obviously really happy, then you can help other people, okay? So your duty, your sacred responsibility, the highest responsibility you have is to make yourself happy. Isn't that cool? Now that's how you're going to serve people, is make yourself into a happy person, okay? Then that's your job, okay? All right. We'll dedicate the karma anyway. Bhagi Geshe Michael Rira Lingshi Ninde Gyambani Sangye Shindu Nide Uwagi Dokunamda Shina Chupasho Idam Gunurad Mandana Kamnyayadayami Digawokun Sana Mishe Tsotsokshin Sana Mishe Nechuhe Damba Kuni Topasho. Okay. Everyone would like to go home, and me too. But I think it's important that we thank the people who served us and made this possible. So please sit still. And I would like to also be able to focus on thanking the people who worked so hard to make this happen. So I'm going to ask Nicole or Robin.
Thank you guys so much for being part of this event. I'm really impressed. You guys are all troopers, because I know, we live in a world now where there's actually like a huge influx of Dharma teachings, like almost all the time. And like a lot of you I've seen over and over again, and we're all juggling work and training and all these things, and you still make time to come here and attend. And I can tell that there's really like nothing that you guys wouldn't do if you knew it served other people, and I'm really inspired. So thank you very much for coming. It's such good company for all of us. And I'm really excited to hear that you're coming back to New York City, Geshe. So I want to just make this offering suggestion that we all spend some time imagining how the time we've spent here will, like through all of us, the whole group, like slowly ripple out into the world, and ask Geshe Michael to stay with you. So, we can build up these kleshaless habits, and then when the really challenging stuff does come up, because it will, this is life, we'll be able to respond in the way like Geshe would, Yeah, and he'll be guiding us during those really hard times. So that's what we wish, Geshe. Thank you very much. Please keep teaching. Robin Buxton, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Fantastic event producer. Hire her if you're looking for one. Definitely. She did such a great job. And the entire work study team, would you guys, including the TAs, would you all please stand up briefly for a round of applause? They work so hard, really, so hard. It was a pleasure. Sure. When you, so you should have exchanged information with your TAs, like, or they'll be emailing you, or you already have their email, and you should submit your homeworks to them, and they'll submit your grades to YSI for safekeeping. I'll also be inviting everyone who signed up for the full program to the videos online. Again, we're happy to do that. It worked out really nicely last time. And if you didn't get the second part of the reading for tonight that got passed out during the break, make sure you pick that up on your way out. It has the homework and the answer key.
I'd like to give a hand to Nicole.
You're very welcome.
I'd like to thank my own staff, Mercedes Baledo, who also sang so beautifully. Her partner, Losan Yumbo, where are you? They travel with me constantly. They don't get any sleep. They die constantly. They suffer constantly, and I'm really grateful to them. I couldn't do what I do without them. Venerable Jigme helps them. And then just Christine Walsh, Nicole, friend Diane, Nancy Karen, Michael Wig, Anatole, Andriana, Darcy, etc. Brooks. Thank you so much. Okay, Ori, okay. No, just kidding. What's the other thing? Oh, Sakura is in charge of the next half. Would you please stand up, Moria? She's in charge of the Bahamas program. So if you want to try to make it to the Bahamas, talk to her. It's going to be stressful for her, but that's fine. Get used to it. We are going to donate readings to the 250 residents of the ashram right now down there. And we decided it would be cheaper to print them here. She's got 12,000 pages of printings. She has 2 printers to be carried down there for the other readings that are not written yet. And I would like to ask for 4 volunteers going to the Bahamas to help her there. Nicole is 1, 2, 3. It means you're going to carry in your luggage one printer or something, okay? Did you get their names? Can you please see her afterwards? And don't leave her hanging, okay? Because it's kind of stressful and she's leaving tomorrow morning, right? So please meet with her afterwards and help her. And then help her when we get down there. If you want to get in at the last minute, talk to her. I think it's still humanly possible. But, okay? And we'll see. Thank you for coming. And thank you for letting me teach. And I'd like to also give Lady Ruth a hand for coming.